Okay. What's up? So I've been watching a lot of Bryce underscore Estelle recently, right? Very like I'm assuming they were like a TikToker before, but I wasn't really on the TikTok side. I just knew them once they came over to like YouTube. This glare is gonna annoy the living out of me, but they did a video recently of like how to treat unattractive people, which is hilarious. Um, because during the video I realized that their videos are meant for attractive people, right? Because that's what they said. And like, I have to realize that I have to use that advice like sparingly, right? Like some of the advice is gonna be good advice, right? But some of the advice is like, like this man, begin like Tinder matches like all the time, right? And my shit can be dead for like, well, I don't use it, I don't, but you know what I mean, right? So I have to like use it sparingly. Um, but like basically, the video was like, oh, um, one of the big things is that like for attractive people, right? Like attractive women, lots of men see just like getting a date with them as like a prize or like being in a relationship with them. That's the prize. So they're never gonna point you out on stuff that you like do bad, right? So like whoever who was writing in was like, oh, some like mid girl manipulated me. And he's like, how did this happen? Like, how should I feel about it, right? And he was like, attractive people shouldn't let like unattractive people like manipulate them, right? Which, when I step back from it all, it's obviously it's very sus. It's like, oh, is this how we're gonna like? Are we just gonna treat people like that? Like like people have values, like people have feelings and stuff. Like you can't be doing that, right? It's kind of like the other video where it's like the whatever like woman queen of like the sprinkle world or whatever, right? Like she got cheated on, and then some people are like, how does she get cheated on? But it's like, bro, like anyone can cheat. That's like a personal like type of flaw that you can have, right? So when you make it as if like, oh, if you're attractive, it won't happen to you, that kind of devalues it for other people, right? And makes other people feel bad, which it was sus. But I'm like, at the same time, like people do feel that way, right? Especially me. That's how like I felt, right? Like I'm gonna be honest, right? But like I had a personal goal. I was like, okay, I gotta talk to and go on a date with one like 10 out of 10 confirmed being like boom, right? Like I can't have no doubt conventionally attractive. Everyone would have said 10. I gotta do that, right? But then I realized that making that a goal made it hard for me to do that, right? Like the goal should just be to talk to. Sorry, I'm done. The goal should be to talk to or like go on a date with like the people that I want to, right, or people that I find attractive. Um, which is when I like realized like the difference between like real life and social media. It's so like vast. Because in reality, if you're like approaching people, right, unless like some people are of course gonna be like, oh, like no, I'm busy. They're gonna be like, I have a boyfriend, whatever, right? And if that's like if you're on a dating app, those are probably people that you would never like, who would just swiped over on you, right? That's one thing. But there's some people who won't say that and will still entertain you, and then maybe like will give you your Instagram or whatever, but they have no plans on ever like actually answering, right? Which I get that. Well, personally, my own personal gripe, right? I was telling my cousin about this. I'm like, yo, I wish people could just be like, get out of my way, get out of my face. I don't want to talk to you. Like that's just so much more. Like I can understand that, I can grasp that, and that can be a solo like a thing in my mind, right? And I won't hate you for it. I'm just like, oh, this person's not interested in me. When someone like acts as if they do, and it's like I pride myself in being able to read signals. So if I'm reading like, okay, they're not like it's not like they're not like walking away. They're not like doing like they're not guarded. Like they're they're person. They're so, like, we're vibing, right? And then like afterwards, you don't answer. It's like, wait, did I read something wrong, right? Like I know I didn't make them like uncomfortable because like you know, like I came to them on the side, right? I wasn't trying to impede them. Like they can move if they want to. Like, but okay, they're gonna realize this is me. I overthink a bunch, right? So like my overthinking is a whole bunch of like I just don't want to make people like uncomfortable. That's my thing, right? Okay. Anyway. Skip. Um, he was right about that though. He was right that that guys see that like if someone's attractive, that's like the be all end all, and they're never gonna be like, oh, you did something wrong to me, right? They're never gonna show that you violated, which is what I feel like is something that I need to make sure that I do, right? Like, I can't just like have someone walk over me just because like they're attractive or whatever. But obviously, the main problem here is like confidence, right? I'm kind of like over the video already, but like I said, you only take bits and pieces, especially when that man's so attractive. Hey, no homo, but he attractive, bro. But the main problem is like confidence, which like I've realized is just like even with fashion, DDG, like name 5 DDG songs. He was like, yo, I could wear a skirt and I still have it on better than you. Which is kind of, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, because of the way I'd rock it, like the way I'd feel, like the confidence I'd have in it, right? So he's basically saying like I have more confidence than you, which is facts. It's facts. Like than most people. Like most people have a problem with that. But if you're wearing clothes, the clothes should, yes, one, express like what you think is like a good fashion sense from inside you, right? But it should also like imbue you with confidence. Imbue? Yeah, I think that's right. Imbue you with confidence, right? Why does it sound odd? And if it does, then you walk around more confident and you're willing to do stuff that like maybe like you talk to 10 people, right? And 5, 4, 6, 7 of them are already gonna say no, right? But like 3 of them were gonna say yes, and maybe one of them was gonna like actually follow up, right? If you don't, the thought is if you didn't have the clothes on and you weren't confident, like your hair wasn't retwisted, right? And you just weren't confident, you maybe would have only talked to 3, right? So that's like the difference there. You gotta like if you're wearing something that doesn't imbue you with confidence, then why are you wearing it, right? You know? Does that make sense? Like these nails imbue me with confidence. Like I feel confident when I got the nails on, right? Because it's that Yachty song. Like, what do you say? The Yachty song. I love Yachty, and I feel so bad I don't remember. Where he's like, I got my nails painted, but I'm still, getting women, right? And I'm like, oh, come on, twin. And I realized if there's a girl who thinks like who doesn't want to like deal with me because I paint my nails, then it's like I probably wouldn't want to be with you in the first place. Like obviously, right? Yeah. Bryce is like watching his videos. He's been super consistently recently, and it's like I'm like, bro, I gotta get back on it. Like in the beginning, one of my first videos was like, oh, I want to make this stuff for my sister. So like if she goes back and watches it, she's like, oh, he had to deal with this. Like I'm dealing with that same thing, twin. And I'm like, oh, hey, don't worry, I got you, bro. Go watch this video. Give a like. That'd be super cool. And if I truly want to do that, right, then I have to like keep posting as like the thing goes on. I do feel a little bit bad though. I haven't been talking to her as much as I need to. As much as I should. That's L brother of me. I gotta keep reaching out, bro. The title of this video is I'm chopped ? Did I answer? Did I clickbait? Yes. But yeah, the thing is I'm saying I'm chopped because like of course it's like I don't think I'm chopped, right? I'm gonna still go and talk to people, right? Well, once I get my vibe back. I'm kind of not in my vibe right now. Like where I live is kind of like dead, so it's like I've been able to have like much human interaction. So like my quote unquote my aura, my riz is like very nerfed. It's like it's super nerfed. But the only way I can get past that is to just like break through it and like just like get out there, which I will be soon. So I'm super excited about that. I got a whole trip planned, which is, maybe we'll, but maybe we won't. I think it's I've learned it's important to do like one step at a time. I'm not streaming right now. At some point, I will again. But for right now, I'm not going to be streaming. Just so I can focus on being consistent with the videos. And once I'm consistent with the videos, then I'll wrap the streaming into, and I'll just like put it together. Y'all like the cup though? Look at the cup. Itama twin. Look at that boy. Don't play with that boy. He is not one of them. Don't play with that boy. He is not one of them. Okay, I'm over it. Twin? Okay, bye. Stay safe. Don't die.